So Blackmagic have released an update for the Pocket 6K Pro. It finally fixes the blue screen of death. Or does it? Hello, my name is Jonathan Palfrey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe as always. Today we are going to be taking a look at the update for the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro, as well as the 6K and the 4K as well. But the real reason we're all here is to see if the update has fixed the blue screen of death. I did a whole video on it, how the blue tint was a real issue of this camera and really the one thing that was letting it down from being pretty much the perfect camera solution. Well, I can say right now, the update is impressive and the calibration tool they've added really does help fix the screen surprisingly well. It's a really simple solution and that's a really smart solution as well, which I'd like to see other manufacturers put onto their cameras, because no camera screen is perfect. You know, the blue tint issues on the Pocket 6K Pros were pretty bad, but it's certainly not a unique issue to just their cameras. All different manufacturers all have slightly different color screens and you can never truly trust what the screen is showing compared to actually what it's recording. But the good news is now you can use this on this camera and you can tweak the white balance and the tint of the screen itself. It's not the most technical solution. There's no numbers to give you a guide or to allow you to recall where you actually set your screen to, which is kind of what you really want if you say do an update and it then resets it back to the original colors again. So it is just a sliding tint and a sliding temperature, but it will probably do the job for most cases. It is also a shame that you can't also see the image at the same time while adjusting the settings. It'd be nice if there was an option in there to have the grey card like they've done in here, but also it would be good if you could just see what the camera is seeing, especially if you're trying to match it to another camera, because then you can see what the image should look like on that screen, and then you can adjust this screen to match, which I think is really what everyone's trying to look for when fixing this screen. They want it to match the other cameras they already own, probably a Pocket 4K or another 6K, and if they can all look the same, that makes life a lot easier. Now, of course, you can line up all your cameras next to each other and sort of tweak them and adjust them until they look correct by eye. But it's always going to be that. It's just going to be by eye, so depending on the conditions you're in, you're looking at the screen, it may look a bit different, as we all know. So it's not a perfect solution, but it's actually a solution that works really well and I think solves a lot of the worries that people had with the screen. In terms of has it actually done the trick? I've got to say it's done a great job. It's quite nice that you can sort of tweak it to exactly how you want it to look. So when I was using it in the field the other day, matched it to our iPad, which we were actually using the Raven Eye, sending the image to that. And it was just nice to see both screens looking the same, so you kind of get a good idea of what to expect on the final image. Now, of course, that is not the only addition to this update for the Pocket 6K Pro. They've also added a colored histogram now, so you can see each channel on the histogram in the corner, and also a clipping option, which is really handy. So if you've ever used a red camera, you'll know that they have on the histogram, they'll show you which channels are clipping, whether it's the red, green or blue, and that will pop up on the bottom here. And that's really, really handy, so that you just have a quick glance down and you can see that, oh, perhaps something is clipping, one of the channels are clipping, so you need to be careful with your exposure. False Color has also had a little update by adding the guide down on the side of the screen. That's a useful little update, although probably if you've got used to using Blackmagic cameras, then you may not need it, as you already know what to expect from the false colors. However, when you're switching between different cameras and different monitors, they often interpret false color slightly differently. So certainly having that little guide down the side, especially for new users, is really, really handy. They've also added additional constant quality options. So now you have Q0, Q1, Q3 and Q5. So that's plenty of options there to pick the exact bitrate that you want to be going for when shooting in constant quality. To be honest, I don't think they're necessarily that needed. I mean, I think there wasn't much difference between the different settings anyway, and I think Q5 for 99% of the shoots you'll ever do is absolutely fine, to be honest. And also you're saving the most space when you're doing that. So I personally would suggest you always stick to Q5 unless you have a really good reason for needing a higher bit rate. So does that mean now the Pocket 6K Pro is the absolute perfect camera? Well, no camera is perfect, and unfortunately we've always got to overcome some flaw of every camera that's out there. There's always going to be little flaws, meaning it's not perfect for every situation. However, as a complete package, I think this is probably as close as we're ever going to get, at least in the short term, of ticking as many boxes as possible, especially for the price. And that's always the thing you've got to remember with the Blackmagic cameras, is that this is such an affordable price for what you're getting in terms of the quality you're getting, in terms of the functionality you're getting, like with the bright screen and everything like that. There's always going to have to be some sort of compromise when the cost is so low. They did do an update that added improvements to autofocus, but who knows what that is, and it's not something worth really talking about. It's the same as before. It can focus on something in one shot, but you wouldn't be able to use it continuously. And of course, the final fix they have also done to this is now you can put your LUTs back into the camera as well. So for some reason, when this camera came out, you just could not install a LUT. It just failed every time. Now it has been fixed, which is great news for those that want to add their own custom LUTs. This update, however, isn't perfect, and it has actually caused some compatibility issues. If you're using it with the RS2, for example, you can't use the camera controls in there currently. I don't know if it's an update that DJI need to do or it's another fix that Blackmagic need to do, but it's such a shame that we've had such a great step forward and then a step back when it comes to this. For me, although it's annoying that I've lost the gimbal control, and hopefully it will be fixed very, very soon, I'd rather have the update with the new screen colors. That's more important to me than actually having the gimbal control options. Hopefully though, it'll all be fixed and we have everything working as one. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe as always, because it massively helps out the channel. If you really enjoyed this, make sure you come back, because I'll be doing plenty more videos on the Pocket 6K and a load of other kit that I use day in, day out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.